welcome back to the Fixing Football podcast. We are on episode 118, and we are joined by a full team tonight. Obviously, joined by Liam O'Meara, our regular main substitute, our Leandro Trossard, our Solomon Kalou, Scott Naylor is here, and the returning, the mythical Luke Foley is here. And we are going to be doing our predictions for the league. Now that the transfer window's shut, now we're in the international break, and we've got a bit of time to sit down and mull it over properly. This is our bumper episode where we get to discuss what we think is going to happen throughout the season. If you want to put any bets on, you should follow mine, because I'm usually right mostly. But if you want to laugh, you should listen to the rest of the lads. So let's go on the table. Liam, how are you doing, mate? I know you like it if I come to you first, so let's start with you.
Well, yes, I'm very well, Martin. Thank you. Very, very well. Yeah, not much really to report. I'm here all the time, so I'm not really got much to add other than the normal stuff. But
still at Guantanamo Bolton.
Yeah, I should be back in the house midway through next week, hopefully. That's the aim. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this, getting the predictions out. Obviously had them ready for last week, but Scott was unfortunately at wrestling, so we didn't manage to get them out. So I did make some last minute changes though, based on what happened in that time. So thank you, Scott, for causing that delay.
Thanks for reminding him that we had this episode coming up. Scott, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm refreshed after a couple of weeks of being away, jet setting, as I like to do. And yeah, ready for the predictions. I had an extra week, as Liam rightly said, to mull things over. And I'm locked in. I'm ready to go.
Luke Foley, our resident Man United expert, who's less residential these times. How have you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm good, Martin. I'm looking forward to this episode. This is one of my favourite episodes to do.
It's the only one you do.
It's the only one at the moment.
Gotta make it count.
Well, given that you seem like the most excited, let's get straight into it. And I'll let you pick a category. Look, I want to leave winner and top five, so I'll let you pick one of the other categories that we've previously discussed. So, just to give everyone a heads up, we're going to be discussing the winner and what we think is going to be the top five finishing in order. The bottom three: top goal scorer, best signing, worst signing, first manager sacked. So any of them last four, Luke, I'll let you go and state your claim.
Let's go for an easy one, I think. Let's go for top goal scorer. So the one I've gone through for is Haaland. And that's obviously the obvious choice.
Bold.
I was going to say, I was hoping it's not going to be a Erling Haaland clean sweep again, but
yeah, I think. Well, I don't want to predict for the other guys, but I avoided the Isak. If I'm being honest, I think this Isak deal, I'm not sure it might pay off this season. So I've just kind of gone for the standard Haaland. He's the best striker in the league, and you just can't really bet against him. So that's why I've gone with it.
All right, fair enough. Scott, I'm going to come swing around to you.
I have not gone with Haaland, so we don't have a clean sweep. I have gone with, you'll be happy to hear this, the Gyok. I'm going to feed the Gyok.
Feed the Gyok.
Victor Gyökeres. And I think it's kind of tied to some other predictions, so slight spoiler. But I think that he's been brought in as that ready-made 20-goal a season guy. He's done it in the Champions League, as I'm very often told. He's got two now? He's got two against Leeds, didn't he? And two as we're recording. So I think that he is going to step up to the plate eventually. I've got a couple of doubts, but I think overall he's going to come good. And I don't think we're going to see. I think last season I think the top was 26 or 7, and then there was a few quite close. I don't think we're going to get as many really high scorers in over 20 goals this year. And so I don't know if he'll win it because he scores 30. He might win it because he scores 19, but I think that'll just be the bar this year. So I'm going to say Victor Gyökeres.
I'm going to join you on that. I don't think it's any surprise, but that's also my prediction. Again, very similar to Luke. He will be happy that he's predicted my prediction already.
Luke's hate watch has begun.
This is the hate watch for Luke. Well, yeah, all the reasons you said. Arsenal going to win the league, and he's going to be one of the main reasons for it. So I'm going with my gut. I just think he's going to get them goals. Liam O'Meara, I would like your wonderful insight, please.
Yes, so I disagree with Luke on the Isak transfer, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot more later. But I still don't think Isak will be the top goal scorer, just because I think Liverpool are more likely to share goals around, and they will score a lot of goals, I imagine. But I have actually agreed with Luke with Haaland. I just think Haaland's a nailed on 25 goals this season, and I don't see anyone going past that. I don't think Gyökeres will have a bad season, but I don't think he'll outscore Haaland, because I think Haaland's going to get 25 goals, and I think to that, Gyökeres is going to have to try and do something away from home, and Arsenal's forward tactics don't allow for any kind of creativity away from home. So I don't think that Gyökeres will get as many as Haaland, so that's why I've gone for Haaland.
Just for the audio listeners as well, you sort of shaking your head when Luke mentioned that he wasn't confident about Isak. I just wondered if you had any other thoughts on that, if you felt the same or you thought that was silly.
I think that's very silly. I think you've probably got the best striker in the league, the best striker in the world, and arguably one of the best players in the world in Alexander Isak. I think you could make a case for him being the best player in the world. And that's what Liverpool, who won the league, have brought into their team. So I don't see how it can fail.
Do you think his stock's fallen with all the way that the transfer went?
Wanting to leave Newcastle doesn't make you bad at football. So
no, I agree. I'm on about like public opinion, really.
Maybe people don't like Liverpool though, do they? So the idea of upsetting the apple cart, and obviously Newcastle were the rising giant. There was an argument that in a different world that Newcastle could have been competing for the league this year. That could have happened if Isak was still there, and I think they made a couple of additions, but it became quite clear quite early on that Isak wanted to leave, and it kind of ruined that romantic potential story. So I think people didn't like it. I kind of understand it, and it's worked out all right for him, hasn't it? He's got what he wanted, so
okay,
why not do it?
Right. Well, moving on. Scott, you could pick the next category and kick us off. One of the other ones. So,
okay.
Best signing, worst signing, first manager.
Ooh, okay. Let's have a look. Let's go with the worst. Let's go with the worst signings. Start with the bad news, finish with the good news.
I'll let you go for it.
Okay. I really struggled with this one, but I did
as well, to be fair.
I actually had a clean sweep of Newcastle United players because I think Newcastle United have had possibly the worst transfer window in history. In fact, it may not work out as bad as Chelsea 2018 when we got Bakayoko, Drinkwater, and Morata. That turned out to be a bit of a stinker. But I think it's a toss-up, but I think the one I land on is Johan Wissa. And it's not as much about his ability, because I actually think Wissa's a decent player. But I think they've paid close to 60 million quid for a guy who's in his late 20s, who had a year left on his deal. I just don't think it's big money to spend on someone, especially when there's other transfers around the league that are happening that are clearly going to perform better for a similar value. I just think it's a horrible deal. But with Newcastle, the list is pretty long, I think, for bad signings. I think you can make a case for Elanga being up there, Ramsdale, Walter Maid as well. I think although I like him, but he was nearly 85 million or 80 million quid. I just don't think it's going to work to the tune of 80 million quid. But I'm going to land on Johan Wissa. I think Newcastle just had the pants pulled down. They had a horrific summer, and I think that's going to turn out to be, in terms of return, money spent, all things considered, I think Johan Wissa is going to be the worst.
Just for timekeeping sake, I'm going to agree with you. That's who I had as well, Johan Wissa. And for all the points you mentioned, plus the fact that, like I said, he's 29, it's a ridiculous deal money-wise in terms of what I think he would be valued at. And he's at AFCON in January.
Yeah.
So he's going to be missing for a month anyway.
Yeah.
What do you make of... I remember around the time when Madueke was joining Arsenal, and I wasn't very happy about that signing happening.
Well,
And we'd just seen Alanga move to Newcastle for a similar sort of price, and that was the talk that was the going rate. And then we saw Cunha move and Mbeumo move for crazy high fees, and then all these sort of trickled in around the same sort of money, like 55 million plus. And in no world would anyone rate Johan Wissa at 50 odd million quid unless there's other transfers happening at the sort of same time, like Alanga for 55 million quid and like Mbeumo for 70 million quid. All good players, but like the crazy, like the blanket statement is that's the going rate. Like what have you made of that sort of weirdness of the transfer market?
Yeah, it is odd, but I understand that once one of those dominoes falls, that's then going to be used as the benchmark for other deals. It's natural. So Newcastle's kind of fucked it up for everybody, for lack of a better term, by making that deal quite early in the window, and that's then provided the benchmark for everything. And I think I think we saw that across the board with a lot of things. But then again, if you look at that 55 million that they spent, Cunha didn't go for that much more. I think he was about 60. I mean, that was agreed even well before then, but his output's massively better than that. I mean, Joao Pedro was 50 or 55.
Yeah.
And you look at the sort of player he's looking like he's going to turn out to be. It starts then looking like it looks like Chelsea have got an incredible deal and Newcastle maybe not so much. So, yeah, I think it's pretty wild. I think it's a sign that, that the transfer bubble is ever growing and showing no signs of ever popping anytime soon. Right. But it's, it is a bit wild.
Luke, I'm going to swing right back to you, mate. Worst signing?
I was in the same boat as Scott. I really struggled on this one. But I've gone kind of with a United theme. So I want to mention some honourable mentions. So Sesko, I think this could potentially be another big flop.
And is this an honourable mention or is this your choice?
This is honourable mention just because I'm hopeful it works out well, but it seems like United don't learn from the past and kind of going ahead with a young talent, not knowing actually can you do it. Big price tag. I'm still in the air about it, so potentially he may be the biggest flop, but the other honourable mention was Garnacho. Don't get that signing. I'm not.
It's fair.
Scott, you said he was not really that interested in it. It just seems a bit of a funny signing.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but my worst signing has got to be Sancho, just because he's a little scumbag.
I forgot about that.
So Sancho to Villa. What's the deal for that? Is it a loan?
It's another loan deal to Villa.
Do you know what the wage
Lindelof as well, by the way. Lindelof to Villa's. Lindelof!
That's random.
He'd left though, so it's not really a sign. He was out of contract. So we've gone with Jadon Sancho to Aston Villa.
Yeah. I think Villa are paying a lot of the wages though, which again Villa needed to drop the wage bill. So who can we get?
Yeah,
who's a cheap option?
He's the second highest paid player in the league. What it is about these deals is, well, like we said, we don't think Wissa's a bad player. It's more that the money and the deal that represents as well, and whether that transfer is going to be a success. If Wissa scores 45 goals this season, we're idiots. Yeah. But if he scores 8 and gets 6 assists, it's not really at value for a guy who's going to be missing for a lot of the season and who's then going to be looking at some sort of exit strategy at 30, or Newcastle are going to be looking at an exit strategy. So there's a lot more to take into consideration other than the fact that you think a player is shit or not. Liam,
sorry, just jump in. I think probably just on that topic, I think Wirtz is a ridiculous signing for that price.
Agreed.
Far overpriced. Like I was leaning towards that, but I thought he's a decent player and he probably will provide for Liverpool, but price tag ridiculous.
That's a little bit sort of the thing. It's why I didn't like the Sesko to United deal, because it's just chucking a young talent in a team that doesn't need a young talent right now. It needs, like, Sesko needs as much support as fucking what Ruben Amorim needs at the moment. Like, he doesn't seem like a hotbed of somewhere to nurture him. Anyway, Liam O'Meara, once again, why so?
Yes, so before I mention mine, I do want to talk about the Sesko one, because some of the stuff that he's been coming out with, I would be terrified if I was a United fan. Terrified.
In what
and
sense?
I think-
What's he been saying?
Well, it was, what was it he said the other day? That they asked him, who do you think is the man that's going to step up at moments at Manchester United? And he named Bruno Fernandes.
Did you
Not
Did
you.
you know
not
what
him.
Did you hear what he said today as well, Liam, in regards
Go
to
on.
the standard of the Premier League's brilliant? I need to get him up to speed with it all. I'm not quite there with it. You're
Fair.
you're the star striker.
Well, this was one of the comments that was made when Arsenal were linked to win a lot, when it was sort of, which one do we go for, Gyökeres or Sesko? And I think although Arteta had his heart set on Sesko, once the earlier conversations have been in, Sesko was undecided whether he could. I don't know how true this is, but this is sort of the story that's been going around, that Sesko was unsure whether he would be starting instead of Kai Havertz as much. Whether he could come in and take Kai Havertz's place. He didn't know if that would be him, and he didn't want to be on the bench.
It's not the attitude you need from. I mean, I saw as well he was the 10th guy to take a penalty at Grimsby, wasn't he? Just before the goalkeepers. Like, what is that all about?
I was listening to that on the radio. I was coming back from Blackpool when I done that run, and I was listening to that game on the radio. And I remember like 4 in. I remember saying like, "Where's Sesko here?" And he going, "I'm like, Maguire, that kid that you had in the back that had never played before ahead of it." And I'm like, "Just Onana!" Like, and he was like, "Upstairs, Benjamin Sesko." I'm like,
Is he still on?
Grimsby. This is Grimsby. Like, incredible stuff. So
I did hear, just in his defence, I did hear that maybe that was a Man United decision because they wanted to protect him. But like, even so,
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, even
from a game
so,
that will get forgotten. Even though like no one's. That's not like the massive oh my god moment that it used to be. By the way, United going out in the second round of the cup. I don't think. I think last time they played at that level, that round they went out as well.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
MK Dons with it 4-0, something like that. Anyway, we could talk about Man United all night, Luke. So,
we'll get
who did I
there.
pick as my worst transfer? This one's probably going to surprise you a little bit because it's a player that I love, a person that I love. But when the transfer happened, I didn't get it, and it's already gone to shit. And it's James Trafford to Man City. I could not understand the reasons for that transfer because
Horrible.
they didn't rate him massively. He wouldn't have been at Bolton on loan at that point, I don't think, in his career. If they proper fancied him. I think they were touting him out for a move at that point. He comes back, he gets a move to Burnley. In his first year at Burnley, by the way, he gets dropped because not so that, and he goes down to the Championship, has a good season in what is a horrifically defensive Burnley side. But
he did have good performances for England in this time as well.
Yeah, but then you're bringing him into Man City's number one. And at a time where Man City are under pressure on the press, people are happy to go at them now. It's absolute nuts. And I think Pep's already made his mind up on that. And it's, I think it's a horrendous transfer. Horrendous for everyone.
I feel like the story around it is that Trafford coming in would be more of an Ortega replacement than an Edison replacement. And then Edison has chosen this season to leave. I think Edison's been trying to leave for a while, to be honest, and trying to find the right exit. And now it sort of seems like they had a replacement, and he becomes unstuck in his first couple games, and Donnarumma's available all of a sudden.
It's horrible for him. Like, even him going into that situation, like, what was he thinking?
Because Liam said you last week, like it's his dream move as well, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
big time. And like I said, I take no pleasure in that. Saying that, I just, when it happened, I was a bit like, don't see that. Number one at Man City, like, but not. You've got people like Pickford at Everton, and you've got so many good goalkeepers around, like James Trafford. Really? Like, Man City won like treble like 3 years ago. Man City. Yeah. Nah. Like when you say that people like Grealish aren't good enough for City, You bringing in James Trafford to start in net for you? Like, they're getting a lot wrong there. A lot wrong with their recruitment at the moment.
I agree.
They're getting nowhere near enough stick for it.
Should we give them some?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I take no pleasure in it. But for me, it should be another charge against them.
116.
All right, Liam, you've got first manager and best signing. I'll let you choose.
Ooh, let's put a gap between them then. Let's go first manager to get sacked, and I'm gonna go one that could go at any point. It is a grenade waiting to happen, and that is the same person I went with this time last year for very different reasons, and that is Nuno, Scott's spirit animal. So,
My boy.
yeah, Nuno Espirito Santo. It's just a ticking time bomb when him and Marinakis eventually go their separate ways.
Can I just?
And it's a shame.
I want to put this out to the group because I nearly sent this in the chat. I don't know if we should veto Nuno because I feel like it's not football.
It's so blatant. It's so blatantly going to happen, and it's nothing to do with him
Okay.
at all.
And I feel like it's for not footballing reasons either. Like there's no.
Like when Steve Bruce got sacked.
Honestly, like he could be sacked by the time I get this episode out and edited and out tonight. So it's.
Well, you're gonna have to forgive me then because I'm gonna have to Google who the current Wolves manager is then because that's definitely who's going. I don't even know who it is. Current Wolves manager.
I really can't. Think
Vito Pereira. So Vito Pereira. I'm gonna go with him.
Like him
because,
though.
yeah, but they're an absolute mess. Wolves.
No, they're a horrible team.
They're gonna have to do it because what else can you do? Like they've got a horrendous squad. They managed to keep Bren Larson. That's something.
Yeah.
But, it's not Haaland.
I'm sorry, Liam. I didn't mean to throw you off, really. I did mean to say that I think we should veto Nuno because I don't.
No, it's fine.
I think it's.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So, yeah, insert current Wolves manager. That's who I'm going to go for then.
Can we all guess that that's who Luke's got to get relegated this season?
Every year, I'm wishing it.
Every year they're going. Scott will have Everton. You'll have Wolves, and Arsenal going to win the league still. First manager sacked. I'm going to go with. I've got a toss up that I still hadn't decided. I've got two names written down here, and I think it will probably be Graham Potter because I think they've already started sounding out replacements and. It just doesn't look like it's going to work. My other option was Amorim. And my thinking behind that is I think that is as much as a ticking time bomb as Amorim. As Nuno, sorry. But I think Man United will hang on and cling on to it a little bit longer than what they probably should do. So I'm going to go with Graham Potter as my first manager sacked.
As a time saver, that's what I went with as well.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It isn't working. You go.
West Ham they're sort of in the similar camp to Wolves. I think they've got a shocking squad and a manager.
I don't know. I actually disagree. I know it doesn't look great at the moment, but I've got a feeling they've got enough. They've got enough quality players in that team for him to hit a bit of form, and particularly with Paqueta back playing every week, and if Jared Bowen continues the form that he's starting to show, I think there's enough. There's enough there, and they kept all the Souček and stuff, and I think that's important. So I've got a feeling he might do okay. I don't think it'll be brilliant, by the way, but I think there's enough there.
Fair. That's not. It's fair comment. I disagree on the squad thing. I agree with Scott. I think it's a poor squad, and it's without Bowen.
Yeah,
Paqueta has a quality player on his day. But yeah,
it's better than the Wolves squad, but I do think Graham Potter is probably worse than the team in this case. Rather than, I think at Wolves you've got a manager who's okay and a squad that's letting him down. I think it might be the reverse at West Ham.
Yeah, Luke Fowler.
Ditto, boys. Exactly the same as well as what you said, Martin. I had them two names. I think just West Ham fans are weird, aren't they? And if they're not playing the Hammers way, the manager gets sacked, and that's it.
The
So
West Ham way. What is that? I'm still waiting for someone to tell me.
The Graham Potter, though, what I will say is that theme of him being sacked has been so far my tweet of the year. So I saw someone put Potter gone by Christmas, or someone quoted it saying Voldemort every year for 8 years. Laughing me off of that.
Internet is undefeated. Right. We're going to go with best signings. I'll start since it's my turn. So we've got, we nearly had a clean sweep for Potter, apart from Liam's gone with Pereira. Best signings of the summer. I'm going to get this wrapped up this first half, and then we'll crack on with the next bit in a minute. Best signings. Luke, I'm going to let you have a prediction if you like. This is your favourite bit. This is what keeps you going. Just the juice.
which Arsenal player will it be?
He's going to go Zubimendi.
just to be kind of quirky.
Because he unlocked
No,
Rice.
I think you've gone for your star striker, Martin. That's who I think you've gone with.
Yeah, no, I've gone with Martin Zubimendi.
Oh,
You've not.
Yeah,
Please tell me you've not.
absolutely. Sort of under the radar. I think he's going to be very important with us winning the league, which is guaranteed. I've said it a few times already. I think we'll look back on this and think, wow, Martin was right again. This is crazy how right he is.
I just need to ask.
We're going to keep on winning.
Right. So the missing piece for Arsenal has always been the striker, right? That's what we've all been saying for a couple of years. So you've got one, and he's not, and you're going to win the league because of him, but he's not your best side. I don't understand how this. Where's this? Explain this to me, because Rice ain't getting more than 9 goals, is he? And by your logic, Zubimendi unlocks Rice, and he's now becomes this virtuoso midfielder. So, talk me through this one briefly.
I just think what Zubimendi is going to do with the positions he's going to play in midfield is going to allow the forward line. I can't, honestly. What's going on here? I was just sat there shaking.
We all really want to hear this.
I feel like you don't.
No, we do.
We do. We definitely do.
Martin Zubimendi will be very key in Arsenal's best 11 in terms of us winning the league. The way he receives the ball for defence, the way he can, like I say, push Rice on. I spoke about him already on a few different versions of Arsenal chats over the summer. I just think he's going to be very important for us, and he'll get better as the season goes on as well.
I actually with Zubimendi. I think he's a very good player, but I reckon that you'll watch 89% of Arsenal games and not notice him. But that don't mean he's bad either. Like, he's just one of those players that sort of blends it all together, kind of thing. So
people were doing that with Rodri for ages, and then all of a sudden it was cool.
Yeah, that's a very good example. He's almost clone. Is a very good example. So I'm gonna go next. Can I go next for best signing? Can I go next?
Yeah,
so I've got
two
answers.
Laugh at you.
I've got 2 answers, and I'm gonna say the one that I think I'm gonna pick first, which is Alexander Isak. It's the Van Persie signing.
Hack.
Literally, yeah, it is. Up until that signing going through, it was Arsenal's title. That goes through, and all those issues that Liverpool might have with changing all their squad don't matter, because they've signed someone who will just natural ability will bleed all that chaos together and score loads of goals at the same time. It costs the world, but it will deliver. And yeah, and for that reason, and for almost Scott's logic of why he thinks you should have picked Gyökeres, that's why I'm picking Alexander Isak, because that is the crown on top of Liverpool to start this dynasty that we're going to see now for Liverpool for the next 10 years, unfortunately. The other signing, though, that I wanted to give an honourable mention to is João Pedro. I think that's a brilliant signing. I think he will, in a world where Chelsea have how many fronts is it this year, Scott? Just the 4, is it, this year?
We're taking one off this year, mate.
It's a big 4, though. It's a bigger 4. I think he could be critical. Him and Delap together, rotated with Gueye as well. as the absolute depth. So I think João Pedro is a brilliant signing as well. Really, really good.
Luke, I'll let you go next.
I'm going to give 2 shout outs. So I think Donnarumma is going to be a brilliant signing because he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I don't know why United didn't go after him.
He isn't, and it isn't.
Okay, Lynn. Next one is Grealish. I think he'll do really well at Everton.
So yeah, show.
I like that.
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
my final one, and I really like this player, and again, I don't know why United didn't go after him, is Paulinho at Spurs. I think he's one of the best
Is it
in
on
the
loan,
world.
that?
It is a loan, straight loan. Yeah, straight loan, no obligations, just an actual old-fashioned loan. As in, you can have him for 1 year, and that's it.
I think he's a great player. I don't know why United wouldn't go in, even if it's just a loan. But he's my pick.
I think I know. It's because he has a medical to pass, and if he'd have heard that United were for him, he might have laughed himself to death. So probably that.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, Paulinho's your shout.
Yeah.
What qualifies that? How do we say that you've won at the end when it comes to the end of the season?
Spurs are going to fucking win out. They're not going to win out.
Spurs doing the treble. Spurs delivering the treble.
This is a safe bet. Scott.
Well, Scott.
No, go on, Luke. You finish.
No, like you said, I don't know how you would win the competition, the best signing, but I definitely don't think it'll be the
Vibes League. See if they win the Vibes League, Martin. You'd be able to point us in that direction.
I don't deal in vibes, mate.
It's all you deal in. It's fine.
Go on, Scott.
Right. My best signing, and another honourable mention for João Pedro, because I think for the money and for the talent he looks, I think that's top signing for us. But I have to say that if my other predictions pan out, then the best signing has to be Victor Gyökeres, because if he scores the goals I think he's going to score, Arsenal win the league, and he's then in turn the most effective signing, because for Liam, exactly the same reasons you've gone for Isak, that he's that sort of glue that's going to hold all that chaos together. I'm not so sure. I'm not as convinced. I think Liverpool have gone this Galactico route, which I don't necessarily think is going to work. And there was so much made of this summer saga of Isak and how much of a mess it was. It remains to be seen. I think not to doubt his talents. I think he's an excellent. I agree with you. You can make a case for him being the best player in the world at the moment, but it remains to be seen if he can hack all that pressure, because he's the record side in Britain now. There's going to be so much expected of him, and he's not really. I don't think we could argue consistently delivered at the level he's done. We've basically seen 1 year of him being this uber world class talent, and I think it's the jury's out for me if he can replicate what he did for Newcastle in all this nonsense where you're going to have Salah, who's isolated, and he's the big dog there, but regardless of what anyone says, Wirtz doesn't look ready for the league. He's was the record signing before him. I think it's a big mess for him to step into. So I think Gyökeres is going to settle in nicely, and he's going to fire Arsenal all the way. So that's why he's going to be the best signing for me.
Thank you, Scott. I know it pained you to say that last little bit.
Yeah, it did.
I'm really interested to see how the Ekitike Isak.
Well, that's another one. Forgot about him. He's another one.
Where
do they all get changed, Martin? Where do they all get changed? That's what I want to know.
Ekitike, we talked about this last week, didn't we? He's well better than I expected him.
Class.
Yeah.
He's mint, isn't he? It's absolutely mint.
You
see why Newcastle wanted him.
He certainly looks ready for the league, I was going to say. He doesn't look like he needs any time bedding. He's just like, right, you're going to buy Isak. I'm going to try my hardest here. Watch this. I think we'll do a quick break. Let's have 1 minute to gather our thoughts, and then we're going to crack on with the top half and the very, very bottom of the table. If you are liking this so far, please go and click the like and share it and comment. Do all the nice stuff that makes my life a little bit easier. Thanks. See you in a minute. And So we're back. Hello. Right, we're going to crack on with the rest of our predictions. We're going to go to the unfortunate relegation zone. So I think we'll start with Scott. I think that's right. Scott, tell us who your bottom three is going to be and why.
So, my bottom three is going to be no particular order, but in fact, it probably will be this order from 20th to 18th. Wolverhampton are going to be bottom because, as we've covered, they are an absolutely deplorable football team in every way, shape, or form. On the pitch, in the dugout, nothing's going well there. And club, yeah. Fuck you, Wolves, if anyone's listening from Wolverhampton. The club or the city. Fuck yous.
Yeah, we're the one and only Wanderers.
It's a Madueke fan club here.
Yeah, fucking love that. That was great. So yeah, Wolves. I just think it's a dire situation at Wolves, and I think.
Hang on, Scott. Before you carry on, has anyone not got Wolves? Do we all agree on Wolves? I think
I've got Wolves.
Luke.
I always pick Wolves. I all got on board.
Luke's determined for Wolves to go there.
We can all agree on Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah. And we probably all have the exact same reason because of the shit.
Yeah, because of the worst team in the league.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Fair enough. I agree. I'm going to say Leeds United as well. I also think their team is just not good enough for the Premier League. Ooh. I don't think they... And I do have a slight bias. I don't like Leeds passionately. So I would very much like to see them go down, and I think that they probably will.
I gig in Leeds quite a bit, and the junction in the stadium's right there, and I always make sure I give it the finger every time. I'm just about to come off.
That'll show him.
Yeah, it's my own childish little thing, but
run your car into it next time. Fucking hate it. And my third team to go down, I'm going to say West Ham, because I think that their rot will set in fairly quickly, and I think they might leave it a bit too late to change it. I think they'll change the manager fairly soon, but looking around at who they could get in to replace Graham Potter, I don't know if there's anyone out there who's really going to be able to turn the ship around. I think they've been poorly managed as an overall club for quite a long time, especially after winning the Conference League and then selling Rice. They did fuck all with that windfall. Absolutely nothing. The squad's worse, if anything. So I also think it's time for them. And when I look at the rest of the league, who I think is going to be down there, I think all the other names you might suspect in there, like Burnley, even Brentford to a degree, I think are going to be better than them. I did toy with Brentford as well, given their manager situation. But yeah, I think West Ham are going to be the other ones to go down.
There's talk of Lampard being sounded out for the West Ham job.
Oh, fucking hell, I hope so. Well, there you go. We may as well pay out now. If it was Betfred, they'd cancel it. Just fucking pay out my money, because if they get Lampard in, that would... And he's carving out a good niche for himself in the Championship. He does well there. And I don't understand... I do understand why he takes Premier League jobs, because why wouldn't you? But I don't know why clubs keep going to him in the Premier League, because he's just not cut out for it.
Luke, are you on board with this bottom three? No, you're happy Wolves are gone?
Yeah. I'm glad everyone's picked Wolves, because for years I've been wanting Wolves to go down, so that's good.
Wanting is a weird way to put it.
No, I want them to.
I get why you don't want them to, Liam. I get why you hate them. But Luke, what's your beef?
I think they've just had a poor team, and they've just been in the Premier League too long. I don't see them as a Premier League team. I think they're just naff.
Are you saying they're stinking the gaff out, Luke?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Liam. They're stinking the gaff out.
Okay.
So Wolves to go down, and I don't think we're going to break the trend. I think two of the teams that came up are going to go back down. So I think Sunderland and Burnley are going to go down. I think Leeds have got something about them to stay up. But I think it's, like we discussed it many times, gap's too big now. That's why probably Wolves stay in the Premier League, because the gap's too big and they've got the money to kind of spend. So I think the two coming going down are going to be Sunderland and Burnley, as well as Wolves, hopefully.
Interesting. Liam, your head's been down most of this section. Are you making notes or reading notes?
Reading notes, because I I think this was the hardest one this year, and I think it's the hardest it's been for a long time. Because I don't agree with Luke. I think the team's going to put more of a chance this year than previous years
100%.
because they've invested. All three of them have spent over 100 million.
Yep.
And that makes a difference. So Red Bull Leeds, I think, do look all right. So they've got enough about them to stay up, I think.
That'll hurt them.
Yeah. So Leeds staying up. I wouldn't go as far to say as Luke is saying, because Luke obviously saying that Wolves are stinking the gap out. I don't think I'd go that far, but I do think they'll go down. So I think that'll happen. So I agree with that. I think Burnley aren't quite good enough, though. I think Burnley will go down.
I disagree. I think Burnley will finish the highest of all the three promoted. I think they've got some really good players in that team.
Nah. Scott Parker's a shitbag as well.
Yeah,
He is, yeah. That will be the thing that does them, I think, if they stick with him for too long.
I like
Big time
that,
shitbag.
that counteracting argument. Nah.
Nah, I don't see it. I don't see Burnley. I think they'll lose 2 or 3 games and the Reds will fall off again. So I think Burnley.
Do you know that point you just made? Nah. Nah. What a load of shit.
Third one, I think West Ham will be okay. I don't think it'll be a stellar season by any means, though. But I think they'll just about be all right. The one for me is Brentford. Look, for a long time, they've been very smart with the recruitment. I just worry they've sold too many players at once. And also, with the manager situation, Keith Andrews, there's only so many set pieces you get per game. You can't... I mean, I know Arsenal are trying to win a league by only scoring set pieces, but I don't think Brentford have enough away from that.
Thomas Tuchel's trying to win a World Cup with it. He's asking about long throw-ins apparently this week.
Yeah, but he only needs to do that for 6 games, doesn't he? And then it's over. Don't need to do it for 38 and bore us all to death.
Liam, I'm going to bail you out here. I've gone for exactly the same as you. I know you've just made your notes right now, but I did mine last week, and I've gone for the same reasons with Brentford. Burnley, I think, will be the weakest of the 3, and Wolves, as elusive runner says, they're going to stink the gaff out. So
I disagree with the Brentford boys, especially with the influx of money they've had. They can definitely invest.
They've had money for years.
Only in January. The window's gone.
Yeah, but
they have.
They could in January. If it gets to it, they probably could spunk a load of fucking money.
What I don't think is maybe they can, but I don't think they're going to get a decent enough replacement. They must have had notions that Thomas Frank might leave for a big club at some point, and they've still ended up with Keith Andrews.
Yeah, it is worrying that.
He is highly regarded, apparently. He is highly regarded, but I'm not having it still.
No.
Nah.
Nah.
They asked me about Keith Andrews. You know what I told them? Nah.
Keith Andrews was a pundit for Sky for the Football League for a long time. And obviously he used to play for Bolton and Wolves. He really, really, really gets under my skin when he talks. Like, he's so unlikable. Like, how sure he is of himself. It's sickening. And I can see if they lose a few games, their fans
like
not
that.
being... I just don't think he's going to win the Brentford fans over if they get in trouble. I think they'll turn on him quickly. I think it's a really poison... You're not going to say no to that job if you're Keith Andrews, but he's not Thomas Frank.
It's such a drop-off in terms of personality in the dressing room, and including out all the players they've lost. Right. So we're all agreed on Wolves. We've got 3 votes for Burnley and 2 votes for Brentford, 1 vote each for Sunderland, Leeds and West Ham. Well, if that isn't the bottom 7, I'd be very surprised if any other team gets in there. Like, if a mixture of that isn't a makeup of the bottom 7, then yeah, I'd be very surprised. Right, it's the big one now. This is where the money is made here. We're going to predict the top 5, 5th to 1st. I'm going to take all. In fact, we're going to start with Luke. He's been here the least. It's time we had some cutting opinions on this top 5, Luke. I want to know why. I want to know who's missing out, who's just sneaking in, and what's happening.
Do you want my 5 or should we do everyone's 5? We're going on the table.
I think do 5 and 4 because I've got a feeling everyone's top 3s are going to be similar. So I think do 5 and 4 first.
That's fair. 5 and 4. Let's go we'll go around the table and then we'll circle back round.
Right, okay. So I really struggle with this, and I went for Spurs 5th, and I went for City 4th, and I wanted to put Spurs higher than 5th, but yeah, I think City, I can just see him having a really bad season, and I think it's still going to be a bit of a hangover from last season, and there's still these charges. It seems that they've bought players; they don't really seem to be kind of working together at the moment. It's just a bit of a mixed match. Now, I'm not saying the players are not great. Like on paper, they've got a world class team, but I just at the moment, from what I've seen, it's not been great, especially the keeper situation. But saying that Donnarumma's coming in. So that's why I put City 4th and Spurs. I think Spurs could really shock this season. I was potentially putting even my top 3, but I can't. I went for 5.
Wowzers! I don't think Spurs will have a bad season. I just think 17th to 3rd is pushing it. So that'd be some turnaround for Thomas Frank. I think. I do think they'll have a good year. They do have Champions League though to contend with as well. So I think that will make life hard for them right at the top of the table. So I in my head, they're 6th, 7th, 8th. They'll be in and around then. For me, I went 5th. I went something I do agree with, because I think it's going to be a hard season for Man City. I think they'll really struggle away from home. I think they'll really struggle being pressed away from home. I think teams will have a go at them now. So I've got them 5th because I think they'll amass enough points in the home games to essentially qualify for the Champions League. So
we've got them 5th.
I've got City in 5th, and in 4th I've gone Newcastle. I understand the arguments about them having a bad window. I still just think they've got a really, really strong defence in midfield, and I don't think I think the problem with that signing is his age. I don't think it's his output. I think he's going to be goals and assists for them, and I think they've still got Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon. I think Walter Maida will be. I didn't want to say he's a good signing because I think it's a lot of money, but I think he'll be a good enough striker for them to be able to win a lot of games. So I've got Newcastle 4th.
Honestly, if there was a Fixing Football podcast bingo, you'd be buzzing if you had Liam O'Meara to mention Harvey Barnes. Because I think it comes up every time.
He's a good player.
He's a good player, but it's like, oh God, someone, please just let me crowbar Harvey Barnes into this conversation.
Well, yeah, but it's that depth. They have got loads of depth in wide positions. Because on the other wing, you've got Alanga, Jacob Murphy. Like they've got
Harvey Barnes
really, really good players.
Harvey Barnes can play on the other wing as well.
I say, you could play him anywhere.
Jacob Murphy's fucking awful. Like, what are we talking about? He's fucking shit.
I can't have it when people call European Champions League footballers absolute shit.
No, but it's in the context of the league, isn't it? Like, for a Premier League footballer, he is shit.
Yeah. I don't rate him very highly, but he's got decent output, to be fair. His numbers last season are very good.
Fuck him. No, he's shite.
Scott, who's 4th and 5th for you?
Exactly the same as Luke I've gone with. I've gone with Spurs in 5th and City in 4th. So for Spurs, I agree with Liam. 17th to the upper reaches of the table is big. But I do think that 17th was... Spurs were bad last season, but their squad wasn't as bad as the league position showed. They just got into a funk, and Ange didn't have a fucking clue what he was doing to get them out of it. It was a bit of a... They got caught in a bit of a storm and couldn't drag themselves out. So I think that they're much better than 17th. And I think this is a weird one, because when I look at if I'm not putting in the usual suspects in the top 5, I'm not seeing anybody else in the rest of the pack who's realistically, I think, going to knock a City or a Spurs out of that. Like, I don't think Newcastle, I mean, they were without a win in their opening 3 games. So that's not a good start. And then you look at the rest of the league, Brighton, they're not that great anymore. Forest, they've got Europe. They're probably not going to be as good. United are a car crash. Palace are okay, but are they going to win more games than City and Spurs? I don't think so. Neither will Bournemouth. And so I struggle to see beyond that top 5, whichever order you want to kind of put it in. So I almost feel like you're going to have those 5 and then a big drop off to 6th and the rest. And I think that City will have enough goals in them, in Haaland in particular, to be higher than Spurs. And I think Spurs they seem to have signed well, but they do this all the time. They always sign well and then they just don't play that well. But I think they'll be better than the rest. So that's why I've gone with those 2.
We can look forward to the Pep meltdown. That's what we've got to look forward to if our predictions come right.
I concur.
Surely, I know we said this last season, but surely that we've got to have some sort of conclusion to this. The charges, the 115 charges, 130, whatever it is now. Surely that has got to come at some point this season.
Probably. I don't think it's all that interesting though. Like, I don't think it's going to be this. What? I don't think it's this revelatory thing that's going to like get them relegated and points deducted. I just think they're just going to end up paying a bit of a fine and then it's just going to be over. I think it's going to be the biggest anticlimax that we've ever seen. I think a lot has been made about probably not as much as we would like it to be. I think we all want this to be some big thing, but I just don't think it is. And I don't think it's that's hanging over the players. I just think that they've recruited poorly for the first time in a while. These players are hearing the same voice for quite a long time. And they can't defend. I think it's as simple as that, really. They're shocking at defending at the moment.
I sort of agree, but maybe, and I think Man City are hoping that you were on the Premier League's defence team because they're just waiting for you to get bored and not care about the resolution. And really, this actually is one of the biggest things to ever happen in football in terms of a legal case.
It's not that big.
This is what they want. This is what they wanted you to think. You took the red pill.
You lot who believe in the moon. This is what you lot who believe in the moon. Oh God! All these big. Oh, it's going to be a scandal. It's not. It's not that big a deal. And the City are winning cases against the Premier League, left, right, and centre at the moment. So it's not looking good for the Premier League anyway.
They didn't win.
No, different cases, but like they've won the sponsorship argument, and some other one that got arrested. I can't remember what it was.
Settlement was agreed.
Yeah,
I think a compromise was made.
So City won basically. They got more money than God. A fine is winning for them.
The Blue Cartel.
I disagree. I don't disagree that I think the result will be an anticlimax. I feel that's the feeling.
What do you think?
I have.
Do you think they're going to get like titles stripped off them?
No, the potential for that is what keeps me awake at night. Just thinking about how much fun I'm going to have when it happens. I'm thinking of the content more than anything.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But
it's going to be nice. Liam, I've done yours. So, or is it me? I've gone for the same as Lucas Scott. Spurs in 5th and City in 4th. For all the reasons I stated previously. I agree with Liam about City and their record that teams are going to press them. I think Spurs are going to be okay. I think Thomas Frank's going to have a lot to say about that once he can get his feet under the table a little bit as well. And I think they'll be okay. And I think Newcastle will be just short of that. Liam, you had City 5th, Newcastle 4th. Is that right?
Yeah. I don't disagree with your selections, if I'm honest. I think those 3 are competing for 2 spots.
Yeah.
I just think Newcastle over a season will be stronger than Spurs.
Can I just say it as well then? So that leaves an obvious 3 remaining football clubs. Was there any of them clubs who've missed out who might be close? And I hesitate to throw Man United in the mix, but I'm thinking more
not this year. No, the PSR issues at Villa have held them back from making the investment they need to. I think a lot of these teams that we're talking about have strengthened, particularly the top 3, have strengthened massively. And I think Villa have just naturally declined a little bit. And the others, those chasing about those clubs that Scott was naming, your Bournemouths, your Brentfords, your other
Palace,
teams beginning with B.
Brighton.
That are owned by American supercomputers. All these kind of clubs, they've all been absolutely rinsed of the best players, and they're all laughing to the bank, happy to finish in mid-table this year while they go and scour South America for the latest person that a third-party transaction owns that they can sign for their players to provide for the top 4 in England. So
That was the most
Yeah,
bitter and monotone thing you've ever said in like one that was all in one key. Just
But I can tell you were angry about it.
yeah.
no,
fuming
it just
inside.
is what it is. It's just there's a pecking order for those.
But
those
it is what it
those-
is.
The whole Premier League's become Dortmund, just supplying to the talent for the rest of Europe. Like the basically every team in England, beginning with B, that's not Bolton, is owned by an American supplying talent to Chelsea and Arsenal and insert other British teams. So yeah,
Should have got on board when Ryan Reynolds was shopping around.
What about Bristol City? They just that would be.
Yeah, they're not good. If you could tell me what league Bristol City are in, Luke, I'll give you a £10 right now.
League 2.
no, the longest reigning championship team. They've been in there longer than anyone else.
Who cares?
Actually, no, it's them and Preston the same amount of time, actually, because that was the thing last year. Preston could have got relegated.
League 2.
I think that's Bristol Rovers, who are League One.
So we meant. Right. Luke, swing back round to you, mate. 3, 2, 1.
So, in third position, I've gone the Arsenal.
Oh!
Oh, Luke. Oh, my goodness.
I actually was nailed on that none of us would. I think it's almost certain that Chelsea finish third this year. Like, it's almost, you might as well put them there now. But anyway, go on, Luke. Tell us why Arsenal are third.
The same reasons I discussed at the beginning at the end of last season. I just think,
In case we have any new listeners since then, Luke, who've not been hanging around for your opinion for a year.
I don't think you've got the corners. I think you.
The cojones.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you had your chance. The last three years, and then you just kind of just bottle it every year.
Wasn't that what Troy Deeney said about him?
Honestly, what is it? Are you on some Arsenal meme generator there? Like, let's just find out what's the next sentence that someone Troy
Deeney, wasn't it? After the game, wasn't it? We knew they didn't have the cojones.
I'm out.
I've been the same opinion for the last 3 years. I'm not changing it. I just don't think you've got the team to do it. I think Arteta's not up for the job. I think you had your chance last year. You didn't take it. So.
Look, can I ask you, before Martin jumps in, can I ask you though, do you not think they're building towards something?
The process is to become second every year. So that's no process to winning, isn't it? The top of the vibes chart, give them that. But not title winners. That's why I put them third.
What does that mean?
I've just told you. I don't think you've got it. You would have done it in the last 3 years. The best opportunity was last year when other teams were not as good, and you kind of focusing on City and making this rival with City, and then you've just let Liverpool. You handed Liverpool the title. So that's why I've gone third this season.
I'm not angry at your prediction.
Implode.
I'm not angry at your prediction. It's fine, but your reason is weak.
Do you think they'll be staying humble for another season?
Yeah.
All
All that jazz that they do. Rather talk about City rivalry than win titles.
So the light bulb will not stay lit this season, Luke. Is that what you're saying?
The light bulb will pop.
Not.
Or win the dog. Or win the dogs out to pasture. Take him behind the shed with a shotgun.
So, my second one,
which
will be Liverpool.
Oh my God!
What is this world
Luke's
on about
coming in
here?
hot.
So, I don't. It's similar to City. I think they've bought a load, and I think they're planning for the future ahead. But I think the spine is aging. I think you're seeing at the moment now Salah's not producing. I think they're hanging the hats on this like Isak sign to get all the goals. I think this year they might not have it. I think potentially they're going to have a world-class team and maybe a dynasty happens, but I just don't think this year will be the fit for Liverpool. And then the number one pick.
Well, we know who it is. So you're not Davina McCall. Like we know who it is.
Will be The Chelsea Blues.
The mighty Chelsea. You're a
We've
smart
got
you
world
really think that?
champions
Are you just trying to
becoming
be different?
champions of England.
Do you really think this, or are you just trying to be different?
No, I honestly think this.
Okay.
I think from three reasons. If you look at all the past winners and kind of look at the patterns, the most teams that spend the most money win titles. Chelsea got the highest valued squad in the league, and they spent the most money. So why not them?
They don't have the highest value squad in the league.
Well, if you look at the thing, they're the biggest valued.
No,
transfer.
most money spent on a team.
So second one is the world champion.
We are world champions. That is true.
Yeah,
We are world champions.
Well,
We haven't, in fact, we haven't heard that
You've
for
got
a few weeks.
The stupid badge to show it as well.
Well, exactly. So if you believe all the hype in regards to them being world champions, why not them? And the third and final one is, I just don't see it from the other teams this year. Like, I think the main hitters, City, you can see the problems there. Liverpool, like I just said, by buying all the new players, and the spine just not quite. I just don't see it at the moment. And Arsenal, like I said, I just don't think they've got it in to win the title until they change their manager. So why not Chelsea? So that's why I've gone Chelsea number one.
Fair. Scott.
Do you want to follow that up, Scott?
I will follow it up. As much as I would like Luke to be correct in this situation, that would be a wonderful year for me. I don't think that is going to happen. So, 3-2-1. I think Chelsea are going to come third. I think that we could sneak second place, and I think we are a bit of a dark horse for the actual title itself. But we need a lot to go our way, and be very lucky with injuries, which we've already got off to quite a bad start with. So I'm not anticipating that, but I think we are much clearer than the rest of the league. I think we'll be much better than City. I think we'll be much better than Spurs. I think that we will be making a push, and I think there might be a case where we might go for a deep Champions League run and be somewhat happy with a Champions League spot in the league. But I think that's going to be the third place spot.
Fair.
So Chelsea third, I'm going to say, which would be good progress from Maresca and that team as well. In second place, I'm going to go with Liverpool. And the reason being, I think that for all the money that they've spent, I think that there always comes a time when your stars start to decline. And I think Van Dijk is, 34 now, is he? Is he 34, 33? He's in that neck of the woods, isn't he? Salah not too far off. Salah has not had a good start. He's farming goals and assists like he always does, despite playing absolutely woefully. And he looks a bit lost. Wirtz looks a bit lost. They don't really seem to know the roles in that team yet. And it's still early days in the season, to be fair. But I think they've made a lot of change. And I think that this is where, if you don't get Salah knocking in 25 a year like he tends to, do you get a title-winning Liverpool team? And I don't know. And again, for the reasons I stated before about Isak, he might not live up to the pressure. I think I can see them. And in transition, they are absolutely fucking terrible defensively in transition. I think they'll get done by quite a few teams there. So that leaves, and it knocks me absolutely sick to say it, but I think Arsenal are the most balanced team. And it's weird that the best defense hasn't won the league in the last couple of years. You tend to see whoever concedes the least goals tends to win the league more often than not. And I think that defense, with the addition of should be a 20-goal a season striker, I think they're the most well-rounded team in the league, despite having 94 defensive players that you would love to field all at once if you could. But I just think Arsenal have the most across the board. And I think they're going. And I also think it has to be Arsenal this year, because if it ain't, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, there has to be this. I think because for Arteta, in my opinion, I think he's sacked if he doesn't win it this year. Because what's the point in continuing with him? You've given him all the money, all the tools, all the players that he's ever asked for, all the control, and he still isn't delivering the goods. At some point, maybe you're not the guy maybe you're the guy before the guy. So I think the pressure is massively on Arsenal to win it this year. Luke's right. You should have won it last year. You bottled it. This year has to be it, or heads have to roll, I think. So, yeah, for those reasons, that's why I'm going with the Gunners, unfortunately.
Do you think
Lego heads have to roll.
Do you think sacked if he doesn't win the league? If he finishes second again to an unbelievable Liverpool season?
No, but you can't just keep saying, "Oh, but they were so good." But your job is to be better than them.
No.
Like that
Yes,
is that is the point. And
I'm not saying I'd be happy. That's the picture. Liverpool get 101 points.
No, but you have to get 102. You know what I mean? You can't. You can't. You're at the point now where there's no excuse anymore. You've added what everyone said you didn't have, and you're the most stable club in terms of your manager, your playing staff, and the tactics that have been in place. And what do you do there? I think it says a lot about Arsenal as a club and their ambition if you don't sack him after his this would maybe his fourth attempt or his third proper attempt at winning the league.
No.
I think it would be. Then what do? You can't keep buying in more players because clearly the players he wants don't fucking do the job, and his tactics clearly don't work. Not well enough to win the title. So the question then is, who is that person? And I don't have the answer for that. But I don't think there comes a point where you just have to make a change and you have to kick on for that. Someone has to come in and be that catalyst, and he's then the common denominator because he's gutted the team at least once, and he still ain't getting the results. So I think he has to go, and that's why I think he will get it because otherwise he's unemployed.
I think there'll be a noisy part of the fan base if we don't do something big, like either win the Premier League or
win a champ. Yeah, if you win the Champions League, I think that's the only thing that could save him not winning the league.
I reckon the pressures this season's unbelievable, and that's why I put them third, because as soon as you start, it falls down. I think that's when it's gonna all implode.
It doesn't fall down though, because I've already said we win the league, so it doesn't.
Right. Okay.
Liam, third, second, first.
Third's Chelsea, because they are the third best team in the league. That's just where they are. I do agree with Scott, though. Not as far as Luke. I do agree with Scott. I do think they've got a very good team, and I think they can win the league. A lot has to go right, and I'm not sure Maresca is that guy that can turn this Chelsea team into one that wins the Premier League. Don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think he's a perfectly good manager, but I don't know if he's that guy. But so I've got Chelsea third. I'm going to repeat what them two said because Scott was pretty much on the money with them. Second, I've got Arsenal. I've got second. I don't think it's a symbol of them being any better or any worse. I just think they're not as good as Liverpool. And I think that signing of Isak, I think, pushes Liverpool into the 90s in terms of points. And I don't know if Arsenal have that in them. I don't know if they're fluid enough in open play. And I think set pieces are great. And I'm not just saying they're a set piece team because they're not. But I think a lot of teams will be getting wiser to that defensively. A lot of teams will be getting better on that. And I don't see enough, particularly in the United game. I didn't see enough in open play away from home to think they can unlock teams at will. I don't see you beating teams 4 or 5-0 a lot. And I wonder in those tight away games how many of them you'll convert to win. And I think you'll have you'll have a good season. And I agree. I do think you'll win trophies, by the way. I think you probably do win cups this year. Maybe even a Champions League. I just don't see you finishing on more points than Liverpool. I think you need to get into the 90s. And I don't think, unless Odegaard really steps up, I don't see you doing that. So I've gone Arsenal second, Liverpool first.
Fair enough. We've all got the same top three, so there's nothing crazy here. It's no surprise I've gone Arsenal to win, but I've gone Chelsea to finish second, and Liverpool to finish third. I think it'll be very tight as well. But I don't know. I anticipate some problems for Liverpool this season. And if everyone's fit and everyone's firing, I don't think Liverpool finish second. And really, if everyone's fit and firing, Liverpool should win the league with their squad now. but you can't. Surely they can't go another whole season with everyone fit and firing like constantly. They're getting 36, 7 games out of Salah and Van Dijk and that whole spine of the squad.
They do very well with fitness, Liverpool. They do very, very well.
Well, they've signed someone who is notoriously not fit. Although he has been, he's had his fair share of spells on the sideline. So I don't know. Not that I'm not wishing it on him. I wouldn't do that. But I think I don't know. I foresee problems for them for what is a lot of new players in that squad when they've had 3 or 4 seasons together. The majority of them. I agree with all the reasons why Chelsea have finished third. I just see them pipping Liverpool later on and Arsenal to hopefully run away with it. And this is a foregone conclusion. Why can you shake your head? I didn't shake my head at yours, apart from laughing at Luke's.
What's wrong with mine? You've all just said because I put Chelsea, you've put in Chelsea second. They're not really ridiculous, though, are they? I think, honestly, Chelsea, I've got a good chance. I don't know why Scott's not backed them. I think this could be a year for Chelsea.
Why are you turning on your own club, Scott?
Yeah, sorry, guys. I think too much has to go wrong for everybody else, and then in turn right for us. So we need to get Palmer fucking scoring goals again. We've already lost a lap for maybe till October, which we're already in September now. But it was clear that he was going to try and give Palmer some time out and have Pedro in the 10 and Delap as the 9, and he's already gone. Asugo, who is Caicedo's rotation, already out. I don't know. We've not had a great start. Colwell's out for the season as well, so we lost our best centre half before we kicked the ball. So I think there's a lot out of our hands. I think in terms of the shit in the ether that needs to happen for us that I just don't know if it can. I don't know if I can be that confident that it will.
Right. Well, that wraps up the Premier League predictions for this season. We only briefly mentioned Man United a few times, Luke, so you seem to have got away with it this year.
See, when you're not at the top or scrapping at the bottom, you get to just fade into anonymity and just no one gives a fuck about it.
To be honest, I don't know why none of you mentioned for United to get relegated. I was quite surprised.
Because you're just
punching down, isn't it?
Yeah, you're in also run now. It's just we're not going to sit here for hours debating Fulham, are we? Or fucking Palace. We're not just these teams don't get.
Can I have a prediction from you all where you think Man United finish? Just as a little fun side piece. What's a good season for Man United?
A good season. A good season will be European football. That's
any. So like 9th. If
Champions
all
League.
works out.
Champions League.
Oh, Champions League.
Champions League.
Well, I'm not saying, but you said ask me what a good season would be. But for me,
I'm not saying we'll finish. there. I didn't predict that.
I think it will finish about 10th, 11th. We won't even get into Europe, any of it.
Unless there's a war on.
Right. I mean, I think Man United will get themselves into around the Europa League places. I think come the tricky part of the season in Christmas time, the lack of European football will be their benefit, and you'll start to see the effect of only having one game a week and stuff. I think that's where they can start to make it shine. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Ruben Amorim though, to be honest. And if I'm honest, the sooner he's gone, the better.
Yeah, I think United will stay up. Don't think we've got anything to worry about.
Yeah. There are 3 teams worse than Man United, Luke. You'll be okay.
Hopefully.
Right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks, lads, for joining us.
No problem.
You'll be able to find the nice graphics for this all social media at some point this week. You can find all the information at fixingfootballpodcast.com, and we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks very much.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.